You're tuning into Black and White Sports on YouTube. The no-holds-barred truth on sports. The main event starts.
All right, Black and White Sports supporters. Well, there's a collateral story out there, an ancillary story that is hanging around that outside of Shedeur Sanders and the Bill Belichick situation is a big NFL story laying in wait. And it's kind of been a lingering one, and that is, where the hell is Aaron Rodgers? Is Aaron Rodgers about to show up for the Steelers? I've said for a while I think they've already had a deal done. I do believe that. And Art Rooney just came out and said, we believe he's going to come here. Mike Tomlin still did the whole, yeah, everything seems to be good, blah, blah, blah. And we got a little bit more information on that. But there is even a collateral story to Aaron Rodgers. And that is, if Aaron Rodgers falls through, does it open the door for an NFL quarterback that currently resides in Atlanta? That does not have that is currently a backup. That just before he got hurt a couple of years ago was a good NFL quarterback. Check this out. Right here, the Athletics' Diana Rossini reported on Tuesday's episode of Scoop City that both sides, meaning the Steelers and Aaron Rodgers, have maintained strong communication, and the Steelers feel that Aaron Rodgers is close to a decision. Quote, nothing really is going to happen until Rodgers makes a decision, and the Steelers feel like it's coming soon. I can tell you they're talking. The communication, I was told, is really good between both teams, Rossini said. Pittsburgh used a 6th-round pick in the 2025 NFL Draft to select Ohio State quarterback Will Howard. I love the pick. I do. Adding him to a QB room that includes veteran backups Mason Rudolph and Skylar Thompson. Yikes. I like Mason Rudolph, but Thompson, nah, can't do it. None of them is considered a valuable starter for 2025, leaving the Steelers with no choice but to continue hoping that Rodgers signs with them. Again, I think it's a done deal. The 41, Antonio Brown, who's actually broke some stories related to signings across the NFL and a couple of things involving the Steelers. In the video I did yesterday, he had just come out and said maybe a day or two ago, Rodgers is already signed with the Pittsburgh Steelers. I guess we'll find out. The 41-year-old was mulling retirement at one point, but all signs point to him returning for his 21st NFL season. He even had a throwing session with new Pittsburgh wide receiver DK Metcalf earlier this month. I just can't imagine that he was out there throwing to Metcalf and there wasn't some kind of at least a handshake agreement. Something. That makes you wonder, was he already signed then and that's why he decided to go out and have a throw? Because what happens if Rodgers gets hurt while he's just tossing the ball around? That's a thing. I don't know. Here we go. This is what Ian Rappaport had to say about, you guessed it, Kirk Cousins.
To the Kirk Cousins thing. I was, kind of keeping track of and trying to figure all right, if he leaves Atlanta, where might he go? And I think if your good friend Aaron Rodgers does not go to Pittsburgh, I think that would be a possibility. But it feels to me like the other possibilities kind of don't exist. Like, people talked about the Vikings. Okay, well, they traded for Sam Howell. Okay. People talked about maybe the Browns. Okay, well, I don't know if you guys know this, but they drafted a second quarterback in Shedeur Sanders. So I don't think he's going there, and I don't think he'd go anywhere. And Dillon Gabriel.
Jeez.
This guy.
Journalism, just a tiny bit, please.
Well, third-round
draft pick, Dillon Gabriel.
It's true. I actually came on the broadcast. I was like, you guys are not going to believe this, but Dillon Gabriel is going to be drafted before Shedeur Sanders. And everybody made fun of me, and it happened. So I don't think Cleveland's a spot for him anymore. And so, the more this goes, I kind of think he's going to be the Falcons' backup, which, there's no source on that because the Falcons have told us this from the beginning. It's just we kind of, just didn't believe them, it feels like. But I think, he's got family in Atlanta. I believe his kids have grandparents in Atlanta. I think it's his wife's family, but I'm not sure. But anyway, he's got family in Atlanta. I'm not sure. Like he's got a no trade clause. I'm not sure he's gonna go anywhere unless like something crazy happens where he would be.
You know, I'm a Niners fan. You know, the fact we forget this, Kyle Shanahan's dream quarterback supposedly is Kirk Cousins. Now they're about to give a lot of money to Brock Purdy. I don't know. It seems odd, but yeah, that was another thing. Some more fallout from Shedeur Sanders was that officially closed the book to Kirk Cousins and the Cleveland Browns. And as he was talking, I was trying to rack my brain and go around the NFL to various locations and think, where could he go? Could he go to the Miami Dolphins and back up Tua, knowing Tua's injury history's really iffy? That's something to think about. What about the Arizona Cardinals? And backing up Kyler Murray, that seems sort of interesting too when you think about it. And at times we know now Kyler kind of had a bounce back season. You need to understand something about how I feel about Kyler Murray. I've never been bought in. All right. I've never been bought in. And at the end of the day, I think a lot like with Aaron Rodgers, I think Kirk Cousins' struggles last year had more to do with coming off the Achilles injury, throwing off the back foot, yada, yada, yada. Think the same thing with Aaron Rodgers. Now that you got more time in between the injury, I think Kirk Cousins would play considerably better than he did at the end with the Falcons. I just can't see him being washed up. I don't know where else he could possibly look. You know, Justin Fields is with the Jets. I mean, that's sort of an interesting situation as like are they, if Justin Fields was to struggle, what would they do then? And of course, the NFL season is the trade deadline is a little earlier. There's still a chance of injury, et cetera, et cetera. Also, let me just point this out. I know everybody's done the Sam Howell closes the book on Kirk Cousins to the Vikings. Does it? Sam Howell? Okay. I mean, if you say so, I don't know. I'm not so sure about it. I mean, Sam Howell? And actually, I kind of like Sam Howell, but Sam Howell? I mean, if J.J. McCarthy can't go and you gave me the choice between Kirk Cousins and Sam Howell on a team that should or could be right there for a Super Bowl, I'm going with Kirk Cousins. I don't give a rip. Tell me what you think. It sounds to me, look, I think Aaron Rodgers, like I said yesterday, I think he's done. But what he does absolutely affects Kirk Cousins right now, too. Peace. I'm out. Till next time.
Thanks for watching the show. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Be sure to tune in next time on Black and White Sports.